This is Young Trader. It is Tuesday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. We'll take a look here at the NQ and see what the Nasdaq futures are doing. Now remember, today after the close, at 4:30, we'll have the EI report there for crude oil. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin. Now, you can see here we had this sideways action. Now, yesterday, I shouldn't say yesterday, I should say today, we had this low of 116.275. What we're watching here is the bottom of this candle here at 116.90. See how it held it here? Now we have what we call a possible double bottom situation. Now, if that is lost, then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle. That's at 115.635. There's your gap. And then we look to the top of this candle here at 114.380. There's your fill. And then we have the top of there at 112.590. But we'd be looking right here for this 12.435. That is your 21-day. But right now here, we're holding the bottom of that candle, which is very, very nicely on this support level, okay? Now, we're above this 8-day, which is at 118.690. That's going to be key. We really want to need to hold that. Now, if we get above that, today's highs here so far was 119.455. What we're looking at here is this 119.850 level. Then we can just carry it right on up here. You got 122.65. You got 120.360 level. We have 126.95. And then we have 121.165. That's all going to be all your resistant levels, okay? Now, if we can break above that, then you have that 123.615 level. Very, very nice. Now, you take the measured move here off this inverse head and shoulders. There's your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. You take it out to 125.5 if we can crack this. Again, that's not really, that's the measured move. But, that could go up to 130, 135. It all depends on how, how fast it's just going to go. A lot of retail traders are looking at this here and trying to get in, okay? So, again, just watch these charts, and this will tell you what to do. So, we held this yesterday. So, I jumped into BITX here, and we're looking here very, very nicely. So, we got to see how this is all going to shake out here today. But realistically, watch that 8-day. Very, very key. If that's lost here, watch that gap, that fill, that top of that candle. But realistically, that 21-day will be your target. Now, that's a little overbought condition. Now we have sideways. Now she's curling up here. The green is over your red, showing very, very good momentum. Okay, now here on the weekly, we had that last week, we had that topping tail situation, and it lined up very nicely with that topping tail situation. Okay, so when you see that, you got to be just a little bit careful. So maybe we have this of just an inside week. We got to see how it all shakes out here. Okay, but realistically, what we're watching here by Friday is we wanted to hold that 112.345 and that key 8-day at that 110.999 level. Okay, so you can see the strength that's going on here. Okay, we're that over kind of bought situation. But that doesn't mean they can't stay over there. Let's look at the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P. It's been overbought here for months here now, so we're hanging in there. But the green is over your red. You still got plenty of room to run as this would go sideways here. So for today, again, just watch yesterday's high. That's going to be key. And then watch that 8-day on the downside and watch today's low. But then watch that gap and that fill on that 21-day if she comes off. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now you can see here how gold, let me just bring that up a little bit here. Okay, we're holding all these key levels here, but now that 8-day crossed above. Okay, so what you want to do is watch that 8-day, that 33.64, that's going to be key on the support level. Okay, right below it, we have 33.47, your 21-day, then we have your 50-day at 33.38 level. Okay, so that's all your key levels of support. If that's lost, we'll come to the bottom here, 33.26, we'll come here. The bottom of that candle at 33.14, and then we can just follow it down. You have 33.04 level. We have 32.90. We have 32.66 and your retest at 32.50. And then we have your 100-day here at 32.36. But you can see how that 100-day now is rolling right back up here. The 200-day is rolling back here. And that 8-day crossed up very, very nicely. Now, yesterday we held that 21-day. And then we popped up here. We got as high yesterday as 34.16. And you closed at 34.10. What we're watching is this level right here, that 34.13, closed just a little bit below that. Now, if we can rally up again, we can just follow the candles up here. You got 34.19. You have 34.22. We'll come to the left, 34.27. These are all your resistance and upside target levels. And then we'll come up 34.68. And then we have your 34.76. That's your big retest there, okay? Now, obviously, if we get above that, then what we can do is we come right here to that 35.09. That is your high. We crack that. You're going to go 35.50 and possibly all the way up to 3600. But right now here, we just got to see how it's going. But again, we still have this sideways action, and we're right in the middle of these two channels here, okay? So you want to look at those channels. Okay, so you just look at that 32.50 on the downside, 34.16 on the upside, and that's what we're trading against. Now we can break out. That is going to be your big target right there at that 34.76 level. But this is looking here very, very nice. Let's just see what it can do today if we can get above and hold at what we made yesterday at that 34.16. Now, RSI here, well, you're looking good. You'll end at 57. The green below your red, plenty of room to run if this takes off. So this is actually looking very, very bullish now. Now, here we have the silver, okay? Silver has been looking really, really good here. Okay, see how we had this sideways action, and that's just building up momentum, and it actually broke up to the upside. And look how nice you had this nice bull flag, perfect bull flag, and then rallied right on up, held that 21 day, and now look how nice you're holding that 8 day. Okay, so what we're watching here is yesterday had a nice high of 39.38 level. Okay, but we didn't quite make it here to this top. Right here, you had 39.22 is what we're looking for, and then 39.57 is going to be your breakout. Now, we have this sideways action, but see how that 8 day is rolling on up here, the 21 day is rolling up, 50 day, 100 day, and 200 day. But you got to watch that 8 day. As it rolls on up here, it pushes that price between that 39.57 and between that 8 day, we have to see how this is all going to shake out here, okay? So when you get that 39.57, you crack above that, you can go to 40, maybe 42, and 45 level very, very easily. Downside, just watch that 8 day. That's at 38.61. Then we'll go to yesterday's low at 38.36 level. Come down to the bottom here, 38.68. And then we have your 21 day at 37.36, which you have to respect because look how much time it held in the past. Okay. But now we respect this 8 day. Look at here. Okay. See, this is why you trade the charts. Look at that. Came right on down, just holding it just beautifully. So today, what we're watching is the 8 day on the downside. Okay. And we're watching that breakout 39.57 on the upside. Okay, so we got to see what happens. Does it break and close above it and then come back down, or does it close above that? Then you can take it to that 40, 42, 45 level. All right. Now, we have here the very, very strong RSI here. That's your relative strength index. Looking very, very good. Your green is over your red here. This is a very, very bullish chart. So let's click that down here. See this? Very, very bullish chart. Bottom left, upper right. Same way with the gold. Look at this, see? Bottom left, upper right. I just think it's going to be a matter of time before we're going to break out of this here and go much, much higher. Easy way I trade this, GLD for the gold, SLV for the silver, and she's looking very, very nice. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude oil. All right, now daily chart here, you can see how she just rolling right on over. Okay, so when you look at this here, see this big bear flag situation. Okay, it's taken a long time to develop, but now we have this rounded top. That 200 day, look how key that 200 day was. You know what I'm saying? Look how it just kind of pretty much stopped it cold, and now we're below the 8 day and that 21 day. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're testing this 50 day. And we're testing that 100 day. Okay, so this is very, very key, 65.47. This is very, very key, the 100 day at 65.11. We lose that. Right here we're going is that 64 flat, which is basically just the bottom of that candle right there. Okay, very nice. That's why we do put price channels in. Makes life a lot easier. Okay, now we start losing that, then all we do is just go right to the left here. You have 62.82. Okay, we come down here at 62.50. 62.17 level, and then we'll come down at 61.06, and then we're going to come down here all the way down to 59.74 level. Okay, so that's going to be your target. Obviously, we can take targets all the way down to 55 level, but what we do here, we just trade one level at a time. So right now, what we're watching is this key 100 day. We're sitting right on it at that 65.11, and we're watching that 50 day there on the upside. Now, if we can get, say this thing rallies up higher, then we're looking right here for this 8 day, 66.72, and then the 21 day is sitting right there. You crack above that, we have that 68.29, that's your 200 day, but right now you have this series of lower highs and lower lows, and there's nothing bullish about this, okay? We have this round top here, big bear flag, rounded top here. This looks like it's going to go lower. We cracked that 64, and I think we'll be down to 57, 55 range very, very fast. Okay, here we are, RSI at 45. That's nowhere near oversold. Plenty of room on the downside. The green below your red, momentum to the downside. To get this going higher is you're going to need a catalyst. Okay, it's just that simple. You got to have a catalyst here to take this higher. If you're not, okay, this is going to go lower. All right, here we have the old natural gas. Okay, so you can see here, well, we had this downtrend situation, and we were below that 8 day. It broke that downtrend, rallied right up here, but you notice that it could not get to that 100-day. And then what we have here is almost like a tweezer top situation, even though we have 3 candles. And then she's just coming off with a series of lower lows and lower highs, okay? So we're looking on the downside to watch today's low, 3.23, the next level right there, 3.19. And then we have 3.15, that's your retest, okay? Now, if we lose that, okay, just say you lose that, you come down here, you got 3.10, and then we have this gap in that fill, okay? 305 is your gap, 298 your fill, and then we look to the bottom of that candle at 286. But respect that price channel at that 3.145 because it might bounce off of that, and we take it right back up again, so be a little bit patient. Now, upside here, while we're watching yesterday's low, 328, and we're looking up here at top of this candle at 333 level, and then we're going to come over here to the bottom of this candle at 3.38, and then we're looking for that 344. That's your 8-day, and then right above it we have 345, and then we have your 50-day at 3.53, and then we have your 100-day. But right now this is looking very, very bearish here. We had that downtrend, had a nice rally up, couldn't take it, and then all the way down. So today what you want to do is watch that 3.14 to see if it holds, okay? If it holds, that could be a good buying opportunity here to take it right back up here to that 200 SMA here and 8 SMA here, okay? But again, if it can't hold, then we just follow right down to 310, 305, 298, that kind of level. Now, nowhere near oversold, 41, okay, green below your red is curling over here. This is looking very, very ugly, the same way as the crude oil. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old NQ. Okay, here we have the old NQ. Okay, so this is the Nasdaq futures here. They're all the same. If you look at the S&P, you look at the Dow, the charts are very, very similar. Okay, we have the big sell-off here, and then we have this like a big melt-up situation. Now, yesterday we made another new high at 23,424 level, and then today we're kind of sitting right in the middle. So that's what you're watching. On the upside is 23,424. Your next level will be it. You'll be looking at 23.5 level, and you can work yourself all the way up to 24,000. Very, very easy. Nobody, it just doesn't want to give up the ghost here. Okay, so just always remember that. Now, okay, the downside here, you got 23,153. That's your 8-day. That's very, very key. And then we have your 21-day at 22,898. So you got to respect it because look how nice it held it in the past. Okay, we lose that, you're going to go right to that 50-day. Okay, and then we come down to the price channel at 21,566, and then we have your 200-day all the way down here at 29.90 level. Now you can see the strength that's going on here on the RSI here, but again, as I always say, this does never last. Okay, right now she's just rolling, but again, it can only go up for so much, and then before you know it, you're going to have a sell signal, and this will turn right back. But retail traders are getting right into this, and they're staying in this. And for me, for a guy like me, it's great because all of this is just a trade. Okay, I'm in, I'm out. Okay, now a lot of tech stocks this week here. I mean, you got the Microsoft, the Meta. You have a lot of good stuff here going on. The Teslas, all coming in here, with the earnings. So that's going to affect you here on the old Nasdaq and overall market because a lot of those stocks are in the S&P and in the Dow also. So always remember that here. We could still melt up higher, but eventually this will turn. And when it does, then they'll have a nice sell-off here. But right in the meantime here, now we just trade this. Just watch that 8-day on the bottom. It needs to hold that. If not, we go to the catch-all at the 21-day, and then we come all the way down to that 50 SMA. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. I'm only doing one video. I'll be out of town, out of the office, I should say, until Thursday morning. And then Thursday morning and Friday morning, Friday, I should say, we'll have 3 videos every back to normal at 3 videos a day. So remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.